Greetings, foolish mortal. 'Tis I, Viktorya Roze Tassi, and yet again we have another video where I'll be reading to you, my beloved army of foolish mortals, like 10 or more so Reddit posts I found I really liked. So let's get to it. This first one is from TrueoffMyChest, and OP said, "My husband had been lying to me for years." Okay. OP then proceeds to say, "Ever since we started dating, whenever we go out to eat and there was a pickle on the plate, he would give it to me." Sweet. One of our first dates was at a sub shop and it came with a pickle and I ate it first and I think he picked up on it because ever since he just slid the pickle onto my plate and I eat it and I never really thought twice about it. The other day we went out to eat and had pickles and me being silly I offered him mine. To my surprise, he accepted and he ate the whole spear in 4 bites. I was a little taken aback and was like, "Wait, you like pickles?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I asked him why, if he liked pickles, he always gives them to me. And he said, "Because I know you love them and seeing you smile is worth a few pickles." So sweet. And my heart just melted because for years I had wholeheartedly believed that this man hated pickles. But no, he loves them. He just loves me more. That's so sweet. I'm sorry, that's so sweet. If you can't find yourself a man or woman like the husband in the story, then this next one is from Traumatizethemback, which I absolutely love because some of the stuff that they post is just so ingenious. But this one says, "When my dad passed, their bank just wouldn't accept the fact that my mom was now the sole owner of their joint bank account, despite receiving notification and a copy of his unalive certificate and the finalized probate doc naming my mom as sole beneficiary. She also had right of survivorship, so the whole thing was just obnoxious. They demand to speak with him whenever she tried doing anything that had formally required 2 signatures. Finally, she got fed up and made an appointment for both of them to meet with the branch manager and showed up with a box of cremate. Way to go, Mom. Got the same BS and she slammed the box on the counter. "Here, ask him yourself." Then she quotes the account in Shade's bank. Why didn't you just do that before? Just, I'm sorry, but that's it. Next one is from the Am I the A-hole thread, and it's, mind you, I'm saying Am I the A-hole instead of Am I the butthole, because I don't want for the video to be taken down. But am I the a-hole for not going to the wedding of my dad and his affair partner? I think I already know the answer to this, but let's continue reading, shall we now? When I was 17, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. 2 years later, she passed away. During those 2 years, my dad was not around much. He was always working and going on business trips. My aunt and grandma helped take care of Mom. About 5 months after my mother's passing, my dad introduced her to his new girlfriend. I was pissed. I yelled at him how quickly he moved on from Mom when they decided to tell me that they'd been in a relationship for 3 years. This dad is not a good man. My dad had been cheating on my mom while she was passing. His business trips were to meet his affair partner. I was so angry I packed my stuff and left his house. I haven't spoken to him since that day. Currently, I am 25. The only family I speak to is my aunt who helped me when I left my dad's house. A few days ago, my aunt called me, asking me how I was, and then asked me if I've heard from Dad. I said, why would I hear from him again? My aunt said Dad is getting married to his affair partner, and by going to his wedding, it would help us mend our relationship. I asked, why would I do that? He is dead to me. There is a silence on the phone for a bit before my dad asked me if that's how I really felt about him. I immediately cut the call when I heard his voice. I realized he was with my aunt when she made the call to me. I texted my aunt telling her I asked her not to tell Dad anything about me, and she agreed back then. She texted me back saying I was an a-hole for saying what I said, and that my dad had crushed hearing that, and that I should move on by now. I did not want to argue with someone who helped me, so I blocked her. Jesus, I'm sorry, OP, but your family sounds like they are a handbasket. Over the next 2 days, I got sent a wedding invitation in my mailbox. The only person in my family who knew my address was my aunt. Move, OP. You should move if you... OP, you should move if you have the funds to do so. If not, then you can get in contact with the bank or whoever and say to them, hey, this person will not stop harassing me. And then they can take care of it, I think. Like, I never done that, but that's basically from what all I understand. And she gave my number to various members of the family. What? I am being bombarded with calls and texts from my dad's uncle, cousins, and saying I should give him a chance and come to the wedding. Block them and get a new phone number, OP. Some calling me names for saying what I said. I got a text from a fair partner saying my dad is thinking of postponing the wedding and I should just talk to him. What? A fair partner? Dad cheated on his dying wife with you. Just... For context, the affair partner was a friend of my mom and knew she had cancer. That makes this thing a whole lot better. I mean, mind you, not better, but worse. Just the fact that the affair partner was a friend of mom makes this so much more worse. I said it's not my fault if he postpones the wedding. I don't want to have a relationship with Dad or her. They are trying to force it. It got quiet after that, but I'm being told by so many people from my dad's side that I am the a-hole. Did leave me conflicted, but I'm sticking to my gun. You are not the a-hole, OP. You wouldn't be the You wouldn't be the a-hole if you forgave him and move on with his life. However, you are also not the a-hole for trying to go no contact with your dad and his affair partner. Just, I suppose if anything else goes wrong, then you can start making statements to the police saying, hey, my dad's harassing me. I don't want anything to do with him. Then, I don't know if they will do anything about it. However, it's pretty good to get the ball started on stuff like that. I mean, just start it up, be very consistent with the he's harassing me, he's harassing me, he's harassing me, he's harassing me, and just basically build up a case file against him. This next one is from, I don't know where it's from, but it starts off with, sometimes I randomly think about the time a girl posted in this girls only Facebook group and I'm telling everyone how she broke up with her boyfriend and he lied saying that he lost the spare key she gave him, only to then break into her apartment when she wasn't home and steal the cat they adopted while they were together, but denied having done this, and she didn't really have proof that he took the cat, since he wouldn't let her come into her place and look for it. Wow. I'm sorry, but that girl must have the absolute worst taste in men. And then another girl saw the post and knew her ex-boyfriend, and she was like, girl, I used to hook up with your man back in XXXX, and I still have his number. If you want, I'll hit him up and get him to invite me back to his place and see if your cat's there. And the OP was like, bet. Bet? Is this bet? Is this bet? Is this bet? So this woman hits up homie dog, asked him out for drink, went home with him, slept with him, and then woke up in the middle of the night and took the cat. That is girl supporting girls the whole way. Like she had only said that she would confirm if the cat was there, but then took it upon herself to steal this woman's cat back. Like she went full on Trojan horse with this man, and then ended up home, and then hit up homegirl, all like, I got the goods, where you want to meet. pervert time. However, I can't help but wonder if he used Trojan condoms. That would be just double chef kiss. And then the two of them posted a picture of them with the cat to the group. I just think that women supporting women is so beautiful. Yes, it is beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. And if you ask me, the world needs more women supporting women moments. Okay, this next one is from the AITAH group. And it starts out with, am I the a-hole for sending my brother's violent misogynist, I think it's pronounced misogynist, Mike Saunders's post to his employer? Yeah, I'm just going to simply let you all decide how that word's pronounced. I am a 24-year-old female woman facing a moral and family crisis. My brother, Jake, who is 29, works for a well-known tech company. We're not super close, but we connect over gaming. That's how I know his unique gamer tag, which is important here. Okay. Recently, a friend who's also gamed with us alerted me that Jake may be involved in some nasty online behavior. He says he posts prolifically on an incel forum under his gaming tag. I did some digging and found the user in question. This is going to be interesting. The posts were disturbing. The user, undoubtedly Jake, just from various identification detail he shared aggressive views about women. What truly horrified me was a post ranting about his sister, clearly referring to me, using terms like toilet fold and expressing violent abusive thoughts. He literally said he wanted to R-word me and force me to do things to him. Wow. Just wow. I'm sorry, but was he always like this, OP? If he was like this, then but it got worse. How can it get much worse? Jake had posted screenshots of his female colleagues, calling them degrading names and ranting about them. It wasn't just hate speech, it felt dangerous. Some of the photos looked like they were taken in a public restroom, and the others were rant about R-wording them. Oh my god, this man is a danger to society. Just an absolute danger. Struggling with what to do, I ultimately decided to send everything to his employer. It felt like a threat to the safety of the woman he worked with, and I was worried about what he might do. Yes, that's definitely the best thing to say, OP. Just. And while you're at it, your brother needs therapy. Jake been suspended pending a human resource investigation. When he figured out it was me, he exploded, accusing me of ruining his life and career. No, Jake, dear, you're the person who did it. You are the one who posted about sick stuff up on a public forum. Just could be anyone if you ask me. Our parents are conflicted. Mom is appalled by Jake's behavior, but think I should have confronted him first. Really? What would that have solved? Dad is upset realizing I jeopardized Jake's future over online nonsense. No, sir, that is not online nonsense. That's basically how predators and a bunch of criminals get started, by posting all their sick fantasies online. I'm torn. Did I do the right thing by reporting him? Yes, OP. You definitely did do the best thing. Someone down below in the comments section, literally the first comment, said, Guy was thinking he was in a safe place to vent out his crazy impulses, and you choose to go full nuclear, drag him in the sun by alerting his workplace, and not set up an intervention or anything like that. This person then presumes in saying that OP is the YTA. No. You, sir, ma'am, are the a-hole. Someone else says, if it was just stuff about you, that might be an argument for handling it between you and your family, even if that ultimately meant you went no contact or got the police involved. But he was taking pictures of coworkers. That's not just disturbing, that's basically a threat to people he has access to every day on the job. The company just didn't have to think of the safety of their employee, but also the liability if we went from illegal photos taken to them in the facility and threatening comments to acting on it. Amen to that. You rightly warned them about this threat to their workers, and the fact that he's your brother is irrelevant. Clearly, the employer didn't think of it as an overreactor on your part before they SPI'd him. What's an SPI? I'll have to look that up. You did his employer and his coworkers a massive favor and may have saved him from something much, much worse. He's sick. Amen to that. And should be in a padded room. Amen to that. And your parents' attitude suggests where he got the idea where he could get away with it. Amen. I couldn't have said it any better myself, but people who act like this, it's their parents' fault that they're like this. I mean, just. Okay, true. Sometimes it's not the parents' fault that they act like this, but in most cases it's the parents' fault they act like this. Someone else says, OP, I'm wondering how middle America are your parents. They must be boomers, because I am absolutely confused over your mother not really taking any decent action. And your father just seems to be too old to really give a F. Yeah, definitely. Someone else then said, not the a-hole, and he shouldn't be saying things about R-wording you in violent ways. Yep. OP is not the a-hole here in my own jurisdiction. The next one is also from the AITAH group, and it reads, am I the a-hole for wanting to divorce my husband because he wants a son? One of these groups, I'm going to be honest with you. However, if it's not the gender you want, you should just be happy. Honestly, I have no idea why the heck people are so hung up on having a boy. If it's a boy, be happy. If it's a girl, be happy. If it's one of cases where the gender isn't clear, be happy. I, 27 female, had been with my husband, 29 male, for 5 years, married for 3 of those years. Our marriage was perfect and we were so happy. It felt like our entire life was perfect. Church on Sunday, loving husband, beautiful home, all of it. A few months into our marriage, I became pregnant and my husband and I were overjoyed, and so were the rest of our family. My husband was especially happy after finding out our baby was a boy, as he always told me he wanted at least one son. Okay. I even started to attempt to repair my relationship with my mother so our son could have a relationship with his grandparent. I had originally cut off most contact with my mother to how she treated my brother when he married his husband, a homophobe. Okay. Though my brother said he was alright with my decision to try and get her back in his life since he still had love for her and my baby was her first grandchild. However, our son ended up being stillborn and it broke me. I fell into a depressive and even at one point considered unaliving myself. But my husband was there for me during all of it and we got through the grief. Our marriage felt stronger than ever and life started slowly feeling beautiful again, even if it no longer felt perfect. About 5 months ago, I found out that I'm pregnant again, and then found out after that we're having triplets. You're gonna have your handful with that, Mama. My husband and I were over the moon, and he was the most doting and loving husband. Since we've always said we wanted 2 sweet children, we agreed that we wouldn't try for any more children after this. Because of our family's excitement for the triplet, we decided to throw a baby shower and gender reveal party. I do not like gender reveal parties. They are tacky. Just people, just post up on Facebook whether or not you're having a girl or boy. Just do not do the whole. I'm sorry, but I do not really even see the point in all that. I mean, yes, I understand they're fun, but it's really ticky tacky. Okay, I am. We trusted my brother with the gender of the triplets, and he bought some confetti candy with the color streamers inside. The baby shower went wonderfully with my parents, in-laws, and my brother and his husband and their daughter, and tons of friends and extended family. It was like a dream come true, and I was so excited for the gender reveal. I didn't care the gender of our babies, but I just wanted a healthy little baby. But my husband was clearly excited for potentially 3 sons. When the time came, my husband, my brother, and I all shot at confetti candy, and all 3 of them shot out pink confetti. Yay, little girls! I was so excited, and so was my brother, but my husband screamed at the top of his lungs and hit the table in front of us, hitting it so hard it actually broke. He screamed at me that I was supposed to give him at least 1 son because I killed his first one. What? I'm sorry, OP, but this guy is very clearly not husband material, and he's also not father material. That's when I burst into tears. I had been so broken up about our son's stillbirth, and that a part of me felt like it was my fault, and now he, my husband, the love of my life, telling me that it was. My brother immediately stepped in and tried to get my husband to calm down, but my husband shoved my brother, so my brother instead pulled me inside while I cried in the living room, while my husband's mother tried to calm him down. I could hear him screaming outside about how 3 daughters were too many, but he doesn't want 4 kids, but he also wants a son. Really? I'm sorry, but I just honestly do not see the appeal in wanting just a son. I mean, yes, little boys are precious and all that stuff, but dude, you should just be happy that you're having 3 babies. 3 baby girls. Just, I'm sorry, that's in itself another thing altogether. Ever since that moment, my husband has hardly talked to me. He's probably embarrassed. He had been sleeping in the guest room, and when we do interact, he's clearly upset and mad and tries to argue with me. He's very clearly not embarrassed. I tried to talk to him about it and asked what he'll do with our 3 daughters, but he spat at me and he told me that he will provide them shelter and food, but he isn't interested in daughter and doesn't plan on having a clear relationship with them. Divorce him, OP. Divorce him and then take him for child support. That's all I'm gonna say. That sealed the deal there, and I wanted to divorce him. I cried myself to sleep last night. Earlier today, I confided in my mother and mother-in-law about all this, but they told me I can't divorce my husband just because he wants a son. Why the hell not? The moment my husband said I killed my son, I felt as though I lost all love I had for him in an instant, and I don't want my daughters to be in that kind of household. However, both my mom and mother-in-law said it's natural for men to want sons, and at least he isn't saying that he'll mistreat them. He will mistreat them. He will mistreat them emotionally, and just, yeah. They treat this as an absolute fact and act as though I'm just a silly little girl who doesn't know anything. Cut them out of your life, OP. Just, oh my goodness. There's also an update. OP says, I didn't expect to have an update so soon, but after reading everyone's comments, I decided to take action immediately and went to my brother's house. We talked for hours through the night and came up with a plan. I am going to divorce my husband. Yes, OP. Divorce him. He showed me the kind of man he is, and I don't want to live and raise our daughters in that kind of environment. I'm going to move in with my brother and brother-in-law during all of it. He and his husband have a nice large house where I can have my own room and a nursery for the triplet. I originally worried that perhaps myself and 3 babies would be overwhelmed or a burden to him and my brother-in-law, but they assured me that they would love to have us here. He's a really good guy. Your brother and brother-in-law, they are the best. I know everything would be okay when my brother even offered to have a baby monitor put in their bedroom, so this can help if more than one triplet woke up during the night. Really sweet. My brother-in-law has a nice high-paying job and my brother works from home, so I will have a stable environment and my brother will help with his nieces. My own niece is excited for us to live with her. The current plan is I will live with my brother and brother-in-law for a while, and once my babies are old enough where I feel comfortable putting them in daycare, which my brother-in-law has offered to pay for, then I can try and find a job on my own where I can save money and eventually move up to a nice place of my own with my daughters. So sweet. My brother and I are also going no contact with my mother. Hip hip huzzah. That woman honestly does sound like she is a handful. My brother and I discussed her behavior was like growing up, how she treated him when he came out and also got married, and how she treated me these past few days. OP then proceeds in saying, when I know my husband had left for church in the morning with my brother-in-law went up to her house and got all my most important things such as documents, quotes, and things that are special to me, as well as all the baby things. My brother-in-law's mother watched my niece while we did all this. She's the kind woman who had offered to be a grandmother to my own baby. That's so cool. Which I happily accepted. Sounds like OP has a really good support system. Because my brother and I don't go to church, my lady Bible study group texted me and asked if we were alright and if we needed anything. I texted them back and told them the truth and what happened, and they were all horrified. As anyone else out there would be, I mean. They told me they supported me and are proud of me for taking action, and now everything planning, and now are even planning a bake sale at the church to help me raise money for me and my baby. That's so cool. I'm sorry, but why can't all churches be like that? Also, apparently, when my husband went out to lunch with the church and his men's Bible group, one of the other members' husband is one of my friends in my Bible group, and when he found out what happened, he yelled at my husband so much he cried, as he should. I got a little bit of joy out of hearing about that, not gonna lie. My pastor even called me and asked me if I was okay. He let me know that I'll always have people who support me at my church, which I'm very grateful for. After my husband came home from church and saw that most of my stuff was gone, he blew up my phone, but my brother-in-law called him for me and said that he would pay for my husband to get therapy for his group over his son and also told me to leave him alone. Brother-in-law is too nice, honestly. You should drop the guy like a hot potato and kick him to the curb. My husband had not tried to contact me since, and he's yet to give my brother-in-law an answer for his therapy offer. All in all, I'm so grateful for my brother and brother-in-law. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without them. I'm hopeful for the future, and while this isn't the kind of future I imagine myself or my baby, this is definitely the best one I can currently give them. They say it takes a village, and my babies will definitely have a village full of love and support. That's so awesome. I'm sorry, OP, but this is the best thing ever. This next one is from the Am I the A-hole Reddit, and it goes, Am I the a-hole for mocking my cousin bald patches in front of his new girlfriend and causing her to dump him? I'm 17 female. My parents and I went to a dinner at my aunt's house. I didn't want to go because my 35-year-old cousin Jared likes to make fun of my appearance. I'm tall and skinny. Really? Jared sounds like a boy. But Dad convinced me to go. Jared was already at the dinner table and introducing his girlfriend Melody to everyone. He surprisingly didn't make fun of me like he normally does when we see each other. Now, I'm told by Jared's sister, but Jared did shear all his hair off 2 years ago because he was getting bald spots and was embarrassed about them. So anyway, during dinner, Jared finally turns his attention to me by the time everyone was quiet and asked me loudly, "Hey, OP, do you think you'll ever put on some weight? You're starting to look anorexic." That is, oh my God, if I were OP, I would smack Jared. Like full out bitch slap. I just snapped and said, "I don't know. Do you think you'll ever grow hair where your bald spots are?" He got angry and started cussing at me, and I asked him if he had a spare brush for me so I can brush my hair. He was told to leave. That's awesome. So him and Melody left. Melody apparently broke up with him that night. Now I'm getting the blame. No, OP, you are not the a-hole. Jared's the a-hole. And Melody didn't break up with him just because of that. She broke up with him because she saw what kind of monster he was, what kind of immature little man child he was. Am I the a-hole for giving my children permission to defend themselves and ruining my brother's visit? My brother had two stepkids, 10 and 8, that are absolute brats. He is infatuated with their mother, though, so he will not disappoint them. It's fine because we do not see them much. Over the holidays, he came over with his family, and the kids were horrible. My daughter, 11, and my son, 10, wanted nothing to do with them. I gave them permission to go to their doors, to go to the room and lock the door to keep the peace. My brother and his wife started bitching because my kids were being bad hosts. I said that I wasn't going to make my children unhappy to appease him. Good for OP. Eventually, my kids did come out to try and play together again. His kids started pushing my son around. He told them to stop, but he wouldn't. My daughter told them to stop bugging her brother, but they wouldn't. So they came to us and told us what was going on. My brother called them tattletales and told them to just go and play and deal with it themselves. Brother, it's the problem here. I asked him is that what he really wants. He said yes, let kids be kids. I took him to my daughter's room and pointed out that she had multiple belts and trophies for martial arts. Then I showed him my son's room, same thing. As it should be. I then went back to the living room and told my kids in front of his and wife that they had my permission to defend themselves. He immediately called the kids over and told them to behave. Their mom was not pleased. She said that her kids were having fun. I told her that her kids' idea of fun was perhaps a little bit more violent than hers. Long story short, they behaved for about 10 minutes and then they decided to test my kids. One black eye and an arm barm later, kids are staying on the couch while my brother and his wife yell at me for raising Bruce. No. The stepkids are the absolute brats here. For the record, each of his kids, although younger, are bigger than my daughter and they've had multiple warnings to play night. By bigger, are they taller or are they rounder? So recently there was a huge family fight because I let my kid beat up his innocent angels. No, OP, without even reading this all, you are not the a-hole. You're not the a-hole. Your kids are not the a-hole. Your brother His girlfriend and his stepkids are the a-holes here. Just, I bet you 1,000 times these are the kind of kids who are gonna basically be like, I never heard the word no before. Whoa. Just, yeah. Let me see. How much more do I have? I have 3 more, I think. This next one is, am I the a-hole for telling my parents they repulsed me and informing their friends the reason after learning they had harassed my late wife to write letters to her kid before she passed? I, 28 male, was married to Amy for 6 years and we had 3 children together. Our sons are now 10 and 8 and our daughter is 6. Amy passed away 2 years ago from cancer. She had been sick for over a year and had a terminal diagnosis for 8 months. I helped care for Amy at home with the help of her family, her mom, 4 siblings, and even her grandparents before she died. And as her death appeared peaceful, but Amy's twin, Ivy, recently discovered that toward the end, Amy had been dealing with some crap courtesy of my parents. For Amy's diary that she kept before she passed, my parents had requested that she write letters to her kids telling them that she wants them to have another mom someday soon and that she wants them to promise to have their hearts and minds open and not to treat my next wife as just my wife or stepmom but a mom. They also want her to tell the kids to ask me for a new mom within a few months of her passing. Speechless. She was supposed to tell them that it was her dying wish and all that sort of crap. Amy had told them that she had recorded videos and wrote letters, but those are not words she would put in either. My parents hounded her every second she was alone and they were visiting. They made her so distressed in the end. According to her diary, my parents told her that she was a terrible mother and a selfish person for not urging us to move on and find another wife and mom once she was no longer here. Why? I read these pages myself and I was furious, as you should be, OP. Even more so because my parents had been urging me to date and explore the prospect of remarrying, and when I had said that they had no interest in it, they told me that is what Amy would have wanted from me. What? Okay, without reading any more, OP, you are not the a-hole. Your parents are the a-hole. Your parents are the a-holes, and also whoever else in your parents who's doing this. Why? Why? The honest? Just why? Okay, I have 2 more left now. First one called, am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend, 27 female, over her brother, 24 female? Sorry, over her younger sister, 24 female. I need some outside perspective on this situation. I broke up with my girlfriend 5 days ago due to her sister's behavior. Me and my ex have been dating for the last 2 years. During the time, her sister had come to me on multiple times. I'm not completely sure about the number of times, but it was almost every time I saw her. I had told the sister multiple times to leave me alone and to stop her behavior, as how I don't do the shooting thing, but that did nothing. Guys, if someone says they're not interested, please just simply respect them. Just, I cannot stand people like this. I have spoken to my ex about it multiple times. She even caught her sister in the act of trying to lock me in the room with herself. Nothing changed. I have spoken to their parents about it and that the behavior of the younger sister is unacceptable, and again, nothing happened. I'm not going to lie and say that the sister's ugly, no. She's actually really beautiful, and I am 100% certain that I have not led her on or anything. Even when I greet her, I give her a side hug every time. I have never been in a lone room with her or anything. I just keep my distance from her at all times. I don't have her on Insta, Facebook. I don't even have her cell phone number. We never shared a text or phone call. Okay. Her family even gave me a stupid nickname, the puppy, because I follow my girlfriend around everywhere when we are over at their house. The only reason I follow her is because her sister's behavior seems to stop when she is around. I have told her that I will stop going to her parents' house because that is where the problems are and I want no part of it. She didn't like that idea and sulked around the house for weeks because I didn't want to go with her. No point in time did I tell her she shouldn't go. I just said I wasn't going with her. I relented 5 days ago and went over. We had too much to drink and slept over at the parents' house that night. The morning I woke up with the sister completely naked in bed next to me. If the roles were flip-flopped, then OP would be in so much trouble. However, that's not the case. In the case, the sister is the queer aggressor and OP is just simply the victim. I stormed out of the room and down into the kitchen and told her that we are done in front of her parents. She was silent for what seemed like minutes, but then started to break down, asking why. All I said was go into that room, and I stormed out of the house and got into my car. It took me less than 2 minutes then the call started to come in, not just from her, but her parents as well. I didn't answer any of the calls. When I got home 40 minutes later, I had 108 missed calls from her and her parents, and 36 messages too from her parents. The messages from her parents just apologized to me, saying that they thought I was joking about the sister every time I brought it up and that they didn't believe me. Just why? Why is the honest to God just why? All I got from my now ex was sorry and that she will handle it and that it will never happen again. I shouldn't leave, that we can work through this. I'm just done. She's even gotten my family involved and our friends. 90% of everyone on her side saying that I'm overreacting and that ITAH dumping her. We can sort that all out. I sent her a message that she has until the Sunday to get her things out of my house. I'm just done. Just. The comment, someone says you've been, I'm not going to say exactly what to say, but you've been SH for the past 2 years. I don't know what the law is where you live, but when her sister did may very well reach SA. I cannot assume that taking off all your clothes and then climbing into bed with someone without your knowledge or consent is legal. I would look into making a police report immediately before you're the one accused. She sounds mentally unwell in addition to being a criminal. No mentally or emotionally person would rug sweep all this. It's insanely disrespectful to ignore your distress. Someone else said, this seems like such video brain behavior. If she thinks if she's naked, she'll just go for it. Just why? He should report this event in every single instance of previous SH. This person needs to be stopped. Yep. Not the a-hole. You tried to work it out for years. Undoubtedly, you weren't taken seriously by her or her family, and the naked girl is found in your bed. Good riddance. I personally don't know you, but I'm a woman and totally agree with you for cutting contact. I'm not sure what your friends and female friends are thinking. If your girlfriend and her parents had walked in on you while you were still asleep, it would be an entirely different ball game. You would have been accused of who knows what. OP then comments out and said, crap, now I'm actually scared. This has not crossed my mind at all. Not the a-hole. If the genders were reversed that were looked at, you would be looking like a criminal. You told everyone you could and tried to avoid it. Anyone outside of her and her parents is being salty is an a-hole too. OP then piggybacked on this and says, I agree. What is messing with my mind is the 10% of people are on my side are all men. Not the a-hole, your ex sucks, sister sucks, friends and parents suck. Everyone sucks, basically speaking. Just, yes. Well, that's everything. Until next time, bye.